Part 1. The Forgotten Secret. What is garlic really? Hi, I'm John, 58 years old, a mechanical engineer for over 3 decades, and thought I knew everything about performance, until my heart told me I was wrong. One winter morning, after a night of cold pizza and working late, I woke up with a sharp pain in my left chest. It wasn't a heart attack, thankfully, but it was a warning. I began a journey to rediscover everything I had ever taken for granted, including garlic. When we hear the word garlic, most of us think of the smell or the tangy flavor on pasta. But did you know, garlic isn't a spice, it's actually a vegetable, a plant with leaves, flowers, and bulbs. And it is this little bulb which thousands of years ago the Egyptians used to embalm corpses, the Greeks fed it to athletes before competitions, and the Romans carried it as a medicine against the plague that we today throw into a hot pan. So what? I eat garlic every day, in soups, fried, roasted. But are you really eating the most valuable thing in garlic? The secret called allicin. Most foods are nutritionally stable. You eat them and you get the benefits. But garlic is different. It's a fighter that only comes into play when it's wounded. Sounds strange? Let me explain. Garlic doesn't contain allicin, the valuable substance that's been shown to fight bacteria, lower blood pressure, and even promote heart health. What you find in whole garlic is a precursor called allicin. Only when you crush, or chew raw does allicin combine with a special enzyme called allinase, which activates allicin. That's why ancient people used to crush garlic before eating it raw, as a healing ritual. And you know what? Allicin is extremely sensitive to heat. Just put it in a pot of boiling water or hot oil, and allicin will disappear. No more benefits, no more anti-inflammatory, just the garlic aroma and a little fiber. So what? So, if you're eating garlic without crushing it first, and then cooking it, you're missing out on all the benefits that ancient people once valued like gold. Part 2. You're cooking garlic to death without knowing it. I still remember the day I called my nephew. He's studying medicine. I asked, "Ben, you eat garlic every day, but why is your blood pressure still high?" He was silent for a moment, then said, "Uncle John, you cook garlic, right?" I replied, "Yes, stir-fried meat, grilled fish, chicken, porridge all have garlic." He chuckled and said something that shocked me. "You're cooking the garlic to death." Garlic is not a stable spice, it's a vulnerable warrior. As mentioned in the previous section, allicin, the compound with the real healing power, only appears when garlic is dashed, crushed, smashed, or chewed raw. But what many people don't know is that allicin is extremely unstable. It's like a lightning bolt. It appears quickly, disappears quickly. According to studies from Harvard Medical School and the University of Oregon, allicin begins to break down after just 2-3 minutes of exposure, heat, or strong light. When heated, allicin loses its effectiveness almost immediately. 3 common mistakes that make garlic die right in your hands. 1. Stir-frying garlic in oil. Sounds familiar. You crush the garlic, put it in a boiling pan. As soon as you hear the sizzling, allicin has evaporated. 2. Chopping garlic and cooking immediately. When you chop garlic without letting it rest for a few minutes, the allinase enzyme has not had time to work. You have just broken the cells, but before allicin can be produced, it's already been cooked. 3. Boiling whole garlic cloves in water. Sound like you can retain the substance, right? No. When garlic is not crushed or chopped, allicin will never form, even if you boil it until noon. So what to do? Let the garlic breathe. After crushing or chopping, let the garlic rest 10 to 15 minutes. This allows the enzyme allinase to complete the conversion of allicin gives allicin. You might be thinking, that's too long. But think of it this way. You're activating the garlic plant's natural defense system, and now it will do the same for your body. My little tip, how revived my garlic habit. From that day on, I changed my approach. I pre-chopped the garlic every morning, kept it in an airtight container, only took out a portion to use raw or add to cooking. I let the crushed garlic rest for 10 minutes on a cutting board, then added it to salads or toast with olive oil. With soups or noodles, I added the raw garlic when the dish was cool to retain the allicin. I even tried eating a clove of raw garlic every night, and I'll tell you about that later. The results were truly amazing. Garlic is not a spice, it is a life therapy. Once you understand how garlic works, you will never look at it all with your old eyes. It's not just a spice for your food, it's a living biological tool that helps your body fight bacteria, reduce inflammation, stabilize blood pressure, and more. If only you stop killing it with heat. Part 3. Garlic and a cold that won in 24 hours. Real life fairy tale. This is a true story, I swear. I remember that night vividly. A bitterly cold January night in Michigan. Snow was falling heavily outside, and I had a sore throat. At first it was just a scratchy throat, then a dry nose, then a low-grade fever. In the past, that meant 5 to 7 days of watering, Tylenol, tea, and sleep. But this time, I decided to try something new. An old friend, a traditional medicine doctor, told me, if you start to feel a little icky, eat a clove of garlic raw, immediately. Chew it, don't hesitate. I was skeptical, but I had nothing to lose. So I crushed a clove of garlic, let it sit for 10 minutes as we learned, and then chewed it raw. Wow, what a punch in the face. Stingy, burning, hot. My eyes watered. My throat felt like it was on fire. But after about 20 minutes, something strange happened. The sore throat subsided. My nose cleared. My low fever disappeared. I went to bed early that night without taking the Tylenol. The next morning, I woke as if I had never had a cold. Healthy, alert, no stuffy nose, no sore throat. I didn't believe it. I thought it was coincidence, but I do it every time I feel like I'm going to get sick, and it works just as well every time. There's real science behind that weird story. I'm not the only one. A major study published Advances in Therapy 2001 compared two groups of people over the winter. One group took a daily garlic capsule containing allicin, while the other took a placebo. The results: the garlic group had a 63% lower risk of catching a cold, and when they did catch a cold, their recovery time was almost 70% shorter, from 5 days to just 1.5 days. Why is garlic so effective against colds? The reason is because allicin is a natural antibiotic, but unlike man-made antibiotics that only target bacteria, allicin also fights viruses, the main cause of colds, fights fungi, helping to protect the immune system overall, and most importantly, it boosts the activity of white blood cells, the body's first line of defense. In other words, garlic doesn't just help you fight invaders, it also trains your immune system. How I use garlic whenever I feel a cold coming on. Here's my raw garlic recipe. Don't copy it if you're afraid of the spiciness. 1. I take a clove of garlic, crush it, and let it sit for 10 minutes. 2. Mix it with a small spoonful of raw honey to get it easier to swallow. 3. Swallow the whole mixture. Don't chew it to reduce the smell. 4. Drink a large glass of warm water. I repeat this every 6 to 8 hours throughout the day, and I swear, more than 80% of the time, I don't need medicine. How effective is garlic compared to popular cold medicine? You know Tylenol, right? It helps reduce fever and relieve pain, but it doesn't kill viruses. It doesn't strengthen your immune system. It just masks symptoms. Garlic is different. It helps your body fight off its own enemies. And when used properly, garlic can do what common cold medicines can't. Help you get better without overdoing it. You might be asking, John, is there any long-term evidence? Or is it just a fluke? I was skeptical too, until I looked at my health record. 3 years without a bad cold, no sick leave, no cold medicine prescriptions. It all started with a clove of garlic. We've just discovered how garlic can shorten a cold by 24 hours, not a myth, but real science. But the weirdest stuff is coming. Garlic isn't just a cold remedy. It's an anti-aging secret hidden in your kitchen. And if you're over 40 like, you can't miss this. Benefit number 4, garlic improves memory and slows brain aging. I used to stand in the middle of the kitchen, holding a spice jar, and think to myself, Wait, what am I doing here? Sound familiar? After turning 50, these moments happened more often. But something strange happened after I started using garlic more often in my meals. My memory seemed to polish. I remembered the names of acquaintances, my daily chores, and even beat my son at a crossword puzzle. No kidding, garlic contains a compound called allicin that protects brain cells. As we age, brain cells begin to die off, causing forgetfulness and confusion. Some studies from the University of Louisville show that aged garlic extract can slow down the aging process of the brain thanks to acetylcysteine, stable form of allicin. This substance not only helps improve concentration, but it also reduces inflammation, a major factor in Alzheimer's disease. I remember a neurologist asking me, "Have you noticed any forgetfulness lately?" I laughed and said, "No, thanks to my wife who has been seasoning garlic soup regularly." Garlic improves blood flow to the brain. Garlic has the ability to dilate blood vessels, slightly lowering blood pressure. This allows more oxygen-rich blood to reach the brain. As you know, the brain is the most blood-hungry organ in the body. Good blood flow to the brain means the brain is working more efficiently, with less confusion. Benefit number 5, garlic improves bone and joint health in the elderly. If you've ever heard your knees click every morning or felt a dull ache after a few walks around the park, I know how it feels. I used to miss a few dance classes because my knees were aching like hell. But then one day, I read a study that showed that garlic can help slow down the process of osteoporosis. I thought, let's try it. At most, it will smell good in the kitchen. Garlic helps increase estrogen in women and improve bone density. Especially for postmenopausal women, estrogen levels drop dramatically, causing bone density to decrease rapidly. But garlic contains compounds that can stimulate production of natural estrogen, thereby helping to strengthen bones. A study from India showed that by eating just grams of fresh garlic a day for 4 weeks, rheumatoid arthritis can significantly improved. What about me personally? I'm not saying that garlic is a miracle drug. After a few months of regularly using fresh garlic in the morning, a clove crushed warm water, I found my joints more flexible. Bending down to tie my shoes was no longer a battle. My wife likes to fry vegetables with olive oil and garlic, saying that it is both delicious and medicinal. Benefit number 6, garlic helps purify the liver, the body's most powerful detoxification machine. You know, the liver is like the body's water filter. It helps detoxify, process alcohol, drugs, processed foods. But with age, the liver begins to weaken. People like me, who have a history with cold PABQ, need to take care of their liver more than ever. And then I discovered that garlic is one of the foods that effectively rescues the liver. Garlic contains sulfur and selenium, two extremely powerful liver cleansing substances. Garlic stimulates the liver to produce detoxification enzymes, helping to clean up toxins that have accumulated over time. In addition, the selenium in garlic also helps prevent liver damage due to oxidative stress, the main cause of chronic liver disease. I used to have slight elevated liver enzymes. The doctor advised a change in diet. After 3 months of eating clean, less fat and more garlic, the test results showed that my liver enzymes returned to normal. Garlic also helps prevent fatty liver, a silent killer. Fat liver is not only caused by alcohol but also by sugar and starch. The good news is that garlic helps reduce fat accumulation in the liver thanks to its ability to regulate blood lipids and increase fat metabolism. What could be better than eating delicious food while keeping your liver healthy? Part 5. Decoding the hidden power of garlic immune system and mental strength. No, there are days when I wake up and feel like the world is trying to push me down. It's not because of work or complicated things, it's just that my body is not the same anymore. A mild cold kept me up all week. I thought my edge was calling for help, but it turned out my body was just crying out for help because my immune system was weakening. 5. Garlic boosts the immune system like a miracle shield during the pandemic. I remember last year when the flu pandemic swept through my small town. Some of my friends had fevers, some had coughs like bellows, and me, still healthy, still going for morning walks, still watering the garden, never feeling tired for a day. It's not that I'm good at anything, but I just persist in eating a clove of raw garlic every morning, like my mother used to do. One time, my doctor, a tough Irishman, looked at me and said, "Uncle Arthur, what medicine are you taking? Have such strong blood?" I just smiled and said, "Raw garlic." "Doctor, that's it. How does it work?" Garlic activates macrophages, the first warriors in the immune system. It helps the body recognize invaders faster, respond faster, and recover faster. A study in the Journal of Immunology Research also showed that garlic helps increase the production of T lymphocytes, which determine the body's immune response. But here's the most surprising part: garlic and the mind. A little known fact: garlic is not only good for the body, it also affects the mind. I used to be a war veteran. There were nights when I woke up in a sweat because of nightmares. But since changing my diet, adding more garlic, more green vegetables, less red meat, my sleep has gradually improved. I sleep more deeply, have better dreams. No more dreams of running away in the jungle. Why does garlic affect the mind? The antioxidants in garlic reduce oxidative stress, a cause of emotional disorders, fatigue and memory loss. In addition, garlic also stimulates the production of mild serotonin, a hormone that brings a feeling of relaxation and comfort. A group of Japanese researchers tested garlic extract on people with chronic stress and found significant improvements in mood within 4 weeks. Remember, you don't always have to take medicine. I used to live with a medicine cabinet full of vitamins, liver supplements, heart supplements, and eye supplements. But after many years and many rereads of reliable medical documents, I learned one simple thing. Food is the most powerful medicine if you know how to use it properly. Garlic, just a small bulb, but every time you cut it, you release hundreds of healthy compounds. Every time you eat it, you are giving your body a chance to protect itself without relying on Western medicine. Do you want to live healthy during the pandemic? Do you want to sleep deeper without sleeping pills? Do you want to be mentally stable without worrying for no reason? Maybe you're looking for the answer in expensive medicine bottles, but maybe the answer is in your kitchen, in a garlic bulb waiting to be peeled. Part 6. Garlic and the immune system's comeback after 60. I still remember that winter very clearly. My wife and I's small house in Montana was buried in white snow for 3 weeks. It was so cold that my breath turned to frost, and I, for the first time in decades, had bad flu that I thought I would have to be hospitalized. Then my wife, who still believes in natural things over Western medicine, made me some garlic tea. Oh my gosh, it smelled like the end of the world. But after drinking it, I sweated and felt much lighter. 3 days later, I was walking outside shoveling snow. From that moment on, I started looking at garlic differently. Benefit number 6. Garlic, natural immune-boosting warrior. Your immune system is last line of defense. After the age of 60, this barrier begins to have holes. But garlic, that seemingly ordinary spice, is a silent but resilient gatekeeper. How does garlic help the immune system? 1. Activate natural killer cells in NK cells. These warriors are the front line against viruses and cancer cells. Garlic helps them work more flexibly and strongly. 2. Increase white blood cell production. These protective cells are mobilized promptly when the body is invaded. 3. Regulate inflammatory responses. Help the immune system react at the right time, the right level, without causing harm to the body. What does science say about this? A study published in the Journal of Immunology Research found that people who took aged garlic extract for 90 days had 58% reduction in the frequency of colds. When they did get sick, they also recovered 61% faster than the control group. And that's not all. Another study of older adults found that the group that took garlic every day had more stable levels of cytokines, immune signaling proteins, which help the body fight off infections. Why is this more important as you age? When we're young, our immune systems function like special forces, respond quickly and accurately. But after 60, it's like a retired police officer, slow and easily fooled. This is why older people are susceptible to colds, pneumonia, shingles, and even small cuts and scrapes can become infected. Garlic, with its unique sulfur compounds like allicin, is like a fitness code for the aging immune system. How to eat garlic properly to optimize immunity. Not just roasting or deep frying is good. 1. Chop and let stand 10 minutes before cooking to maximize allicin formations. 2. Add garlic to soups, broths, or garlic lemon ginger tea. Keep the heat moderate so as not to destroy the precious enzymes. 3. Use raw garlic combined with honey to increase antibacterial and antiviral properties. My true story, I haven't had a cold in for years. I'm not lying. Since I introduced garlic into my daily diet, sometimes roasted garlic, sometimes garlic honey, sometimes carrot garlic lemon juice, I have never had a cold. Even when the whole neighborhood was coughing, I still held on. I can't stop thanking a wife who patiently forced me to drink witch water during that cold winter. Now, I'm the one who minds my son every time my little nephew sneezes. Put some raw garlic in his porridge. Son, garlic, not just a spice, but a biological armor for old age. If you're tired of expensive supplements, remember, garlic, cheapest thing in the kitchen, may be the secret to maintaining a healthy immune system. Don't wait until you're sick to look again. Make garlic a daily habit. Part 7. Garlic, a shield against memory decline in old age. I still remember the day my father forgot my name. He sat in the old armchair where he used to sit to watch baseball and stared at me. His eyes were glazed over and his mouth moved slightly. "Who are you?" My heart sank. That was the moment I understood Alzheimer's had truly consumed a part of his soul. I didn't want my children to see that. Same from me. Never. And then, I discovered something amazing. Garlic, that simple spice, can be a powerful ally for the brain. 1. Garlic helps increase blood circulation to the brain. One of the reasons for memory loss in the elderly is due to limited blood flow to the brain. Garlic contains allicin and organic sulfur, compounds that have the ability to dilate blood vessels, improve blood circulation, and bring oxygen and nutrients to the brain better. Simple but effective. When blood circulates well, the brain not only breathes better, but also stays sharp longer. 2. Protects brain cells from aging and inflammation. The brain ages like the body, but the danger of brain aging is that it silently robs of memories, emotions, and cognitive abilities. Fortunately, garlic contains many powerful antioxidants, especially L-cysteine, which help neutralize free radicals and protect brain cells from the attacks of time. In addition, allicin in garlic also reduces inflammation of the nervous system, preventing the formation of beta amyloid plaques, which are directly related to Alzheimer's disease. 3. Helps sleep deeper, a condition for the brain to recover. It may sound unrelated, but deep sleep is when the brain cleanses itself. And did you know, garlic has the ability to calm the nervous system, reduce stress thanks to sulfur compounds and minerals such as magnesium. When I started adding garlic to my dinner, not only did it taste better, but I also slept better, woke up less often, and the next morning, my mind was clear and bright as if it had just been refreshed. 4. Helps reduce the risk of memory loss. Garlic balances blood sugar, blood pressure, and cholesterol, 3 factors closely related to brain health. Recent studies from Europe show that people regularly consume garlic have a 30% lower rate of Alzheimer's than those who do not eat garlic. That's no coincidence. 5. A clove of garlic, medicine to prevent cognitive decline. I have made garlic a part of my daily medicine to protect my memory. From garlic soaked in honey, to chicken soup with garlic, or simply squeeze garlic juice mixed with water to drink in the morning. At first, I only intend to try it for a few weeks, but the effect is obvious. Not only is my mind clearer, but my short-term memory and concentration are also improved. Sharing from the heart, this is not just nutrition, but hope. I'm not saying garlic is a miracle, but it is part of a strategy for living mindful into old age. I choose garlic not because I like the smell, but because I want to remember the names of people I love, the memories I cherish, and the little things that make me who I am. And if you have ever witnessed a loved one gradually forget the world, then you understand how precious it is. Part 8. Garlic, a silent savior in everyday life. I once read a sentence somewhere, roughly, health is not everything, but without health, everything else becomes meaningless. And you know what? In my journey to regain my health after years of struggling with blood pressure, cholesterol, and chronic insomnia, I found a little friend that I used to ignore: garlic. But this part is not just about the benefits anymore. I want to take you to the fine picture where you see garlic is not just food, not just medicine. Garlic is a way of life. A way of life that understands your body. A way of loving yourself in a natural, proactive, non-dependent way. 1. Things to remember before using garlic. Don't rush to stuff a whole raw garlic bulb into your mouth because you heard it's good. I made that mistake. Stomachache, heartburn, feeling uncomfortable all day. Later I understood. Garlic is extremely strong if used incorrectly. Raw garlic, very strong, so let the garlic rest for 10 to 15 minutes after chopping. Crush to maximize allicin, but only use a little 1/2 to 1 clove time. Cooked garlic, baked, steamed, fermented, powder, still retains anti-inflammatory property. Easy to digest. Honey-soaked garlic, easy to eat, reduces heat and spiciness and increases resistance. Black garlic, sweet, soft, naturally fermented, contains more polyphenols than regular garlic too. Who should not eat garlic? Garlic is good, but not for everyone. I am not a doctor, but from my own experience and that of those around me, here is what I have learned. People who are taking blood thinners, ask your doctor, because garlic also thins the blood. People with severe stomach pain, ulcers, avoid raw garlic. Pregnant or breastfeeding women should use cooked garlic. Do not eat too much. People with sensitive skin, avoid applying garlic to the skin. Easy to blister, burn. 3. A final message. I used to live like many older Americans, taking my medications regularly, going for monthly checkups, but still feeling weak, having memory, joint pain, and difficulty sleeping. Mr. Worm, things only started to change when I simplified. I returned to my traditional way of eating vegetables, nuts, whole grains, and of course, garlic. Every morning, I drank a glass of warm water with lemon and a few slices of garlic soaked in honey. Every night, I add a clove of cooked garlic to my vegetable soup. Month by month, I could feel my body turning back the clock. Garlic is not a panacea, but a small key that opens the door to great health. If you're reading this, I'm guessing you're no longer thinking garlic as something you only use to flavor stir fries. You're thinking of it as a companion, and that's a great start. Start today, but start slowly, the right way. And don't forget to listen to your body. Conclusion. A clot of garlic, a small step to a healthier life. I used to think that health was a big deal, that it cost money, that it needed doctors or expensive medicines. But then, it turns out, sometimes, it all started with just a tiny clove of garlic in my old kitchen. Garlic is not a miracle, but if you pay attention, you will see it everywhere. From the dishes your mother cooked, to the folk remedies your grandparents passed down, to modern scientific research today. It is a bridge between tradition and modernity, between the past and the present, helping us stay healthy in a world full of diseases, stress and pollution. I have found that helps me sleep better, reduces knee pain, stabilizes blood pressure, improves memory, and most of all, it helped me feel in control of my body again, something many older people like me thought they had lost long ago. If you are still hesitant, I just want to say this: give it a try. No need to change too much. No need to push yourself to do anything too extreme. Just take a little time for yourself every day and add a little garlic in however you see fit. You might be surprised at the power of something so small. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If what I share can help you become healthier and happier, that will be my great joy in these years. Wishing you a day filled with energy from the inside out. Wishing you a long life, a healthy life, and a full life. Garlic, not just a spice,